We're going to talk about how one cell becomes two cells. This is how organisms get bigger and how they heal injuries. And the overall process is called the cell cycle. When a cell is first formed, it goes into a phase called interphase. An interphase has three parts. The longest one is G1, where there is normal growth and cell activities. If the cell decides to divide, it goes into S and makes an entirely new copy of all its DNA. From there, it goes to G2 and makes a copy of everything else that will be needed when one cell becomes two. From interphase, the cell goes to mitosis, which is the division of the genetic material. This is divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, and followed by cytokinesis when the cell divides in two. The most important thing that the cell can pass on to its offspring are copies of the instructions to build everything, and those are found in DNA. DNA comes in two different forms: chromatin, which is uncoiled, readable, and usable, and chromosomes, which are tightly coiled up, packaged, and easy to move. But a chromosome has a different definition in metaphase and prophase than it does in anaphase and telophase. In anaphase and telophase, it is one sister chromatid, whereas in metaphase and prophase, it is two sister chromatids joined by a centromere. There are checkpoints, represented by stop signs here, that occur throughout the cell cycle to make sure that the cell is copied correctly. Otherwise, we can get something called cancer. These checkpoints are places where cyclin is manufactured, and that cyclin will interact with something that's already in the cell called cyclin-dependent kinase, and that cyclin-dependent kinase will then become active and start turning on the things that need to be turned on and turning off the things that need to be turned off to make the cell move through that checkpoint. If the cell correctly moves through the checkpoint, it means that the cell is healthy and ready to do so. And this helps us avoid getting cells that grow out of control, which again we call cancers. Again, this is how cells reproduce themselves, the cell cycle. It's how organisms get bigger and heal injuries. It involves changes in the type of DNA in each part of the cell cycle. It involves very tight regulation, and it's very important for biology.